Pues yo comencé a hacer este tipo de ensamblaje hace aproximadamente 20 años. Ha sido una cosa como que ha ido evolucionando de una forma muy orgánica, una forma muy instintual. Yo soy una persona muy acuática, me encanta ir a la playa y entonces me encanta caminar por las orillas y pues obviamente pues cada vez pues me daba más cuenta de todo el desecho, toda la materia que hay. Mucha madera de deriva, pero también mucho material plástico que no me gusta, pero pues como en esta pieza termino incorporándolo porque me hace falta el color en esas piezas. Y entonces pues este tipo de trabajo me sirve, es una forma, son como unos ejercicios para mí, unos ejercicios mentales, de ánimo, de, como no sé si decirles un tipo de despojo, pero es una forma para mí de alegrarme la vida, de buscar algo positivo dentro de toda la basura que nos rodea y dentro del consumismo desmesurado. Bueno, puede sonar súper clichoso, pero es lo que es trato de buscar crear cierta armonía dentro del caos que hay. Trato siempre de que haya unas composiciones donde haya cierto balance, cierto mensaje, cierta esperanza, cierto humor, eh, y nada, siempre tratando pues de alegrarme la vida también y de ver la belleza dentro de esa cosa tan fea que es la basura, que puede ser la basura, que a veces es una cosa que uno se queda sin palabras cuando uno ve la cantidad de basura que hay y las cosas tan asquerosas que pueden haber. Puede ser esto quizás como un arte povera caribeño, no sé. Estas piezas son pequeñitas, pero a mí me parecen súper bonitas. Esta, por ejemplo, es súper simple. Pero a mí me da una cosa, es como una belleza griega, no sé por qué pienso que es algo griego o como un ala de un pájaro, y es la fragilidad, y esta fragilidad pues que nos acompaña en todo este Caribe. Eh, y básicamente, pues este es el trabajo.
Acabamos de ver un video de Margarita Vincenty. Margarita está con nosotros ahora para hablar sobre su trabajo. Y nada, le quiero extender la más grata bienvenida a Margarita porque pues yo no creo que ella haya experimentado un body mix antes y para nosotros es un gran orgullo, motivo de gran orgullo que la gente linda de allá de Ponce esté con nosotros hoy acá. Un saludo a Luis Valdeyuli también si está por ahí. Margarita.
Hola, hi. Well, I'm in Ponce, Puerto Rico, in the south of the island, which has been devastated recently by the earthquakes. Also, we've experienced bad economic turndown for many years. So my work basically speaks about that, about all this destruction and abandonment. So basically I do these constructions from found objects, a lot of them from the beach. I'm a very, I go to the beach a lot and walk through the beach. I end up sometimes cleaning the beach, but I don't use everything I collect. But I try to do these works that reflect on the ongoing corruption or worsening of our ecology and economy, and basically, I've had a few group shows, and all here in the island, of course, very small group shows, and sometimes I don't know if the people pick up on it. Sometimes I feel they are a little poetic. Most of the work tends to be small. I have something right here, for example. I don't know if you see that little assemblage there. Uh, so I use, I drill, I hammer it down, I glue it. So it's a very physical work, even though it can look small, it's very physical. And it's like a workout, basically. I feel it's connected to Haiti, not only because, of course, we're islands in the Caribbean, the Greater Antilles, but also just the matter of fact of the earthquake, which was very strange because during this last December, we had a small quake. And then I was very nervous because I was thinking to myself, when was the earthquake in Haiti? And I started Googling it. And coincidentally, it had been 10 years prior exactly. And so I got very obsessed, with looking at the topography of the island and everything, and of all the faults in the sea. And in a couple of days after that, we got the big one. It wasn't as big as Haiti, but I feel my work, it's even more representative of these ruins that we're living in. I live in the center of town, the old part of town, and many houses collapsed. And I feel sometimes overwhelmed by the amount of ruins. And plus on top of the pandemic, it can get very depressing. But in the pieces I do, I try to make them happy and try to bring color into them. And you show this deterioration, but at the same time, hopefully showing some aspiration for better things, some positive feelings. I have something I want to show you because it's very, I think, I have a feeling it's from someone, maybe from Haiti, which is an oar, un remo, a boat oar. And I found it coincidentally near Daniel Lin's house, near Loíza on Aviones Beach. And I made this, I don't know if you can see, but it's right here. And I incorporated into this, I don't know if you see, like, do you see that?
I do.
I don't know if it's, because from in that area at one moment, there were a lot of Haitian immigrants that were coming inside on boats. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people were dying. Sure. And suddenly they are gone. At one point they had some markets. Now they are gone. But I found this ore right there on the beach. And I was like, oh my God. And to me, this is a story of, I just want to just call this like change. Maybe it's a good change for the person or a bad change. I don't know if the person survived. Mm-hmm. But I feel, it was like very strong. Just the feeling of finding this to me. I mean, I got like a heartache because I don't know the end of the story.
It also suggests that events like this where we're meeting artists from various backgrounds in the region, that we don't know to what degree the other one's story is affecting ours, mm-hmm. and to what degree our story is part of theirs. That is that kind of Creole or mestizo experience. There's all kind of words in each country. They use them often as pejorative words of power. But what's mm-hmm. being pointed at is that identity is fluid, and that human beings are on the move and they're morphing, changing, migrating. One thing, it was interesting how Rommel was talking about Haitians dying in American Civil War and things like that. We always think of Haitians being just there. We don't realize how much Puerto Rico has affected Haiti, how much Haiti has affected Puerto Rico, affect Cuba, affect Jamaica, across language lines as well. And so that's a bit of what I'm hearing. Even when I'm looking at your backdrop, it makes me think I feel like you're in Haiti somewhere.
Yeah, it's very tropical. My house is from 1914. Okay. And we were very affected by the earthquake, but luckily we were able to fix it just doing traditional methods. We didn't, people that want to use, engineers and whatever, we just used artisans. we used a friend of ours that fixes boats, and he fixed some of the part as if it was a boat using fiberglass. And nothing, it was very organic the way we did it, but we were able to save it. The one across from ours fell down, and you know, people that want to use architects and all this with the permits, we just went ahead, you know, kamikaze style, and just we did it with some artisans. And we
so this is an interesting point that you're also making, is that we know very well when we're in the Caribbean, and maybe that's why tourists who are not from the Caribbean go to visit the Caribbean, including Haiti, is when you get there, you realize that the topography, the land, the houses, it's all a work of art, all a mosaic of identity, you know, that, and conscious of itself as such. And everyone is in some way participating in the negotiation of that Caribbean identity. You know, even the most, let's say the most high-classed people in any given country have powerful elements of whatever indigenous culture that's going on in their interface, you know. And so there's an inescapable play of desire between all the peoples in the region. And again, it seems bigger than us. And I think it's a wonderful thing as artists here that we're able to just own that and embrace that, you know, and not be caught up, you know. So it's great to hear you reflect on those things, and for you to invite us into your home as as a place to reflect on the themes that are going on here, Margarita. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you very much for the invitation, Miguel, Tatiana.
Gracias a ti. And I'm very, very honored that now that we had this dialogue, you, Michel-Ange, and all the other artists. And I really enjoyed the film. I mean, you know, the video. Gracias.
Okay, gracias. Buen día.